You're probably wondering, why is there a video being released at this very moment in time? Well, the truth is, what you're seeing on screen right now is the reason why I'm giving this video. Anyway, guys, what's going on? It's Chris here, back in the building, as you guys can see. And as you can tell, I'm a very depressed as hell person right now because after watching the highlights, yes, I didn't even watch the full game of Man United losing to Tottenham 6-1. It's fair to say that it has to be one of the worst performances I have seen Man United play in my lifetime. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to try to stay as positive as possible during this video, although it won't be easy. But I'm going to try and digest and break down, where did Man United go from their third game of the season? Well, first and foremost, it's been a bit strange to see Man United concede three penalties in 3 straight games. But to see them lose 2 from their first 3 is even weirder, considering that we've lost to Palace and Tottenham Hotspur. But before I start and talk about where do United go from here, I'm going to try and do my best to summarise my version of the events of yesterday's game. So, within the first 30 seconds, surprise, surprise, Man United get a penalty, and guess who steps up to take it? None other than our number 18, Bruno Fernandes. But then after that, it all goes downhill from there. Anyway, guys, first Tottenham goal was pretty much a pinball match between Harry Maguire and Eric Bailly. Maguire heading to Bailly, Bailly heading to himself, then heads back to Maguire, then Maguire heads it back into our own box. Then there's a massive mix-up between Maguire and Luke Shaw, and then Tottenham understandably punish us for not clearing the ball out of our own box, and that is how they scored their first goal. Right, second goal of the game scored by Tottenham. Kane obviously given a quick free kick because of the foul that Maguire gave up, and then Kane manages to pass it to Son. Bailly, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, absolutely no one near Son to get to it. I've got to say that we gave them so much space because, as you can see on the screen right now, I've highlighted the box in the middle where Son could easily run into. Pretty much get the ball, run into the box, score such an easy donut goal. And I have to say, I'm fuming that not one of our defenders managed to see the space, managed to realise, hang on a minute, there could be a quick free kick being taken here. They just switched off, assumed everything was going to be okay, and then pretty much let it all unfold, and then Son scores Tottenham's second. Third goal, scored by Kane. De Gea and Bailly pretend they're on the training pitch, and we can't clear it out of our own box. Kane, unsurprisingly, manages to bury it in for 3-1. That was after our red card, by the way, when Martial got sent off for slapping Lamela on the face, even though Lamela elbowed Martial. Martial didn't react, but then Lamela, being the sheep that he is, goes and takes the slap, goes on the ground, and then gets Martial sent off in the process. Why they didn't go to VAR, I have no idea. As you guys can tell, I absolutely hate VAR, and despite the fact that we've had so many beneficial decisions helping Man United, in all honesty, I hate it, and I want football to get rid of VAR. Tottenham's fourth goal, Lamela sells dummy. Son actually runs onto the ball. No one picks him up. Easy 4-1 for Tottenham just before half-time to make our matters worse for Man United. Tottenham's fifth goal, Pogba does not even in the slightest realise Aurier is running in behind him. Aurier picks up the ball after a nice pass. I think it was from Ndombele or Lucas Moura, I'm not too sure. But check the Sky Sports highlights in the description below. De Gea infuriated by the fact that United has scored their fifth goal. But in all honesty, by that point, it was becoming a bit of a travesty for Man United. And it would be about to get even worse when we concede our sixth goal. So there we have it, guys. That was my basic summary of what happened. Well, my version of events of the 6-1 drubbing against Tottenham. But anyways, without further ado, I'm going to move on to my not one, not two, but 3 things that I think United need to sort out quickly as soon as possible in order for us to move forward and try and challenge again for the Premier League title. Point number one. I think we all know as Man United fans, I think none other than our man, Ed Woodward, has got to leave the club because, let's be realistic, the man knows absolutely nothing about football. He's practically a banker or accountant, depending on how you want to put it. But for me, that's not good enough, right? Because a lot of top clubs, they hire players, or ex-players I should be saying, that know the game inside out, know what the club need for the future and how to take the club forward. At Man United, yes, we are spending money into this club, but is it being spent correctly on the right players? Well, to me, clearly not, because if we're throwing money into every single situation and we're not getting the best results out of each and every player, what is going on? And I feel as if Ed Woodward is not the right man to be at Man United, so he has to go. And that leads on to point number 2 or 3, which is our defence. Because our transfer window was shambles. Simple as. I don't think any other word could best describe it. And we were trying to pursue Jadon Sancho over trying to get defenders for our club. In fact, it makes me sad to see that Man United have gone from so many legendary defenders, from your Gary Nevilles to your Steve Bruces, Gary Pallisters, Dennis Irwins, Jaap Stams, Ronnie Johnsons, Patrice Evras, Nemanja Vidic's, Rio Ferdinands. How can you go from so many club legends throughout the 90s and the noughties to be playing with Harry Maguire, who is practically speaking a Russell and Hobbs fridge, and Victor Lindelof? Yes, Victor Lindelof. How can we be playing these defenders at Old Trafford? It just shows how far Man United have fallen these days and how far the standard has just dropped at this club. But yeah, I think it's okay. Oh yeah, it's great. We spend 90 million on a new attacker, yet we can't even get a defence to try and save our own lives. How embarrassing is that? Now, last but not least, point number 3, the leadership of the players on the pitch. Because I have to say, during that game, not one player showed any hunger, fight, passion, desire, nothing. Not one of them showed any of those attributes on the field out there when they played. And I have to say, I'm disgusted to see that unfold in front of my own eyes. To be honest with you guys, I am taking a few words out of Patrice Evra and Gary Neville's mouths, but if you guys want to see their reaction and their opinion to Man United's performance on Sunday, I'll put the link in the description below, the Sky Sports videos, that is. But I have to say, if these players are playing for Man United, or they say they play for Man United, they need to seriously take a look at themselves in the mirror, because the performances we've been seeing from the players has simply not been good enough. End of. From the first minute until the last minute, you fight for the badge. You give it everything you got. Win, lose or draw, you put in your best performance on that pitch as a Man United player. And if you're not willing to give that, well, I'm sorry. Let's face it, just leave the club. That's the way I see it with these current crop of players. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. In the description, I am going to put the links to Gary Neville and Patrice Evra's reactions, as I mentioned. I'm also going to put the match highlights if anyone wants to digest it, take the mick out of Man United, go on. To be honest with you, I'm still kind of laughing how we lost 6-1 against Tottenham. But until next time, guys, peace out.